She directs. It's the story of King Edward VIII and Wallace Simpson. I'm going to be talking to one of its stars, James D'Arcy, in just a minute. First, though, let's have a look at this film.
Wallace, what's wrong?
Lunch with your brother and sister-in-law.
They are rather dull, aren't they?
They'll never accept me.
You're going to let Bertie and Elizabeth dictate our future?
It isn't just Bertie and Elizabeth, it's everyone.
It won't be once we're married.
David, let's stop all this talk about marriage. It frightens me, and I can't see any good coming of it.
Why?
Your family will never stand for it. The Prime Minister won't stand for it.
Then I'll give up the throne.
And I will be the most despised woman in the world.
Well, James D'Arcy, who of course played Edward Windsor, joins me now. I think most people know the story. It's billed as this great love story, isn't it? And the fact that he gave up his throne for the woman he loved, but also she gave up a lot too. They both made huge sacrifices.
Well, I think that's what the film is dealing with. It's looking at this story from a slightly different and new angle. It is a story about a strong woman and told by a strong woman. And honestly, it's a bit of an honour to be involved in something like that, because so many films are kind of male-centric these days.
That's very true.
It's really nice to be part of something that is slightly different. It
looks beautiful, particularly because we should say it's almost like two stories, and particularly because we should say it's almost like two stories in the movie. There's a modern-day story, and then obviously there's the story of the royals, and it just looks so beautiful. The costumes are extraordinary, everything, the attention to detail. But this is because Madonna has been actually quite obsessed by this, hasn't it? She's really immersed herself in the story.
She has, and she was unbelievably well prepared, but also she was very, very lucky in that both Wallace and Edward were completely obsessed with clothes. So in terms of the period part of the story, Arianne Phillips, who was our costume designer and did an incredible job, but she had such a great starting place because, of course, both of them were clothes horses.
No, indeed, they were, and in some ways quite, I suppose, not exactly, well, quite shallow in some ways, I suppose. I mean, it's a very complex character, wasn't he? Very strange bloke in many ways.
Well, I think that what little I thought I knew about him was its sort of big, bold headlines, King abdicates, and that seems very removed and very foreign, and I don't really understand that. What I really liked about the film was that it sort of delves a bit into the complexity of that relationship. And because it's a film in which really the main question is, what would you be prepared to sacrifice for love? What would you give up? Yeah. I think we can all sort of start to identify with that.
That's
because,
very true.
You know, when's the last time you had a Rolo and you thought, is it mine or is it yours? Like, I'm not sure.
Shall I have it? Yeah, no, these are big questions. Now, is it true that you had to learn the bagpipes very quickly for this role?
I did.
So can you play the bagpipes now?
If you presented me with bagpipes now, the answer would be no. But actually, yes, I did play one bagpipe song once.
Because he was renowned for doing that, you know.
He was not very good, though. I actually think I might have been slightly better than him. I'm glad he's not alive to have a bagpipe off, but...
Oh, jeez. And on the set, you know, Madonna brings a lot of baggage with her, of course she does, you know, but she really, was she good to work with? Did you find her as, you know, as a director, did she have the eye?
I thought she was completely exemplary. I mean, really, she was so unbelievably well prepared and passionate and enthusiastic. And that's really inspiring. Yeah. You know, and I think we all know that she's got this amazing work ethic. But what I really wasn't expecting was the level of sort of drive that would propel us to do things that we didn't think we were capable of, like learn the bagpipes in 6 weeks.
Yeah, it's a strange one. You don't expect to be doing
and it's
that
a terrible party piece to have because no one has bagpipes lying around their flat at 3 in the morning. Do you have some bagpipes? I'm coming round.
I'm sure I could rustle some up for you. I would pay good money to actually hear you play the bagpipes. It's just hilarious. It's so funny. I bet when you took the role on, you didn't think that was actually going to happen.
No.
But it's
quite a good example of what Madonna is, though, because the guy said to me, you can't learn the bagpipes in 6 weeks, and she emailed me and said, well, I think you should try. Just because somebody says you can't doesn't mean you have to listen to them. And that's kind of, you know, she sort of makes things that seem impossible possible. Yeah.
And it's out in a couple of weeks. And I think I really, really enjoyed it. I think it was a really interesting movie with a fantastic subject. And you and Andrea are brilliant in the title roles. Absolutely fantastic. Totally believable.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, James. Great to see you. Really good. Right.